Yahudah going to say, he's telling Yahushua, do you not know what my two brothers, Simeon and Louis, did unto the city of Shechem and unto the 7 cities of the Amorites on account of our sister Dinah? Dinah, was their only sister, and her name meant judgment. This is what her name meant. So they brought judgment unto Shechem and the other 7 cities. He says, and also what they would do for the sake of their brother Benjamin. So if they killed thousands in Shechem, just 2, they killed thousands. And so he said, imagine, what are we going to do? What are we going to do because of our brother Benjamin? What do you think we're going to do to you because of our brother Benjamin? He says, and I, with my strength. Now, Yahudah knew his strength. Pay attention. I, with my strength, who am greater and mightier than both of them. Listen at what he's saying. He's more mightier, powerful, and stronger than both of them. And there is a reason why. It's not coming out in this message, but I will bring out this reason why and where this might comes from. He says, come this day upon you and your land, if you are not willing to send our brother. All he's asking for is his brother. If you don't send our brother, I'm going to kill you and all the inhabitants. He says, have you not heard what our mighty one who made choice of us, Yahuah made choice of the seed of Yasharal, did unto Pharaoh on account of Sarah, our mother? We know what happened, whom he took away from our father, that he smote him and his household with heavy plagues, that even unto this day the Egyptians relate this wonder to each other. So will our mighty one do unto you on account of Benjamin, one brother, whom you have this day taken from his father, and on account of the evils which you this day heap upon your land. For our mighty one will remember his covenant with our father Abraham, and bring evil upon you, because you have grieved the soul of our father this day. 8, it says, now therefore hear my words, that I have this day spoken unto you, and send our brother, that he may go away, lest you and the people of this land die by the sword. He's talking about killing all of them. And if you don't let them go, you and your people will die by the sword, for you cannot prevail over me. He's telling them this is without his brothers, what power, what might Yahudah possessed. And he's telling them that what was coming. And of course, Yahushua continued. He went on. This is the same. This is chapter 54 in Joshua and 13. And Yahudah said, Yahuah is witness between us that we have not desired to battle with you. So he's telling them they're not desired to battle with you. Only give us our brother and we will go from you. And Yahushua answered and said, as Pharaoh lived, if all the kings of Canaan came together with you, you should not take him from my hand. This is Yahushua continue on, not allowing him to take him. Okay, this is Joshua and still in 54:25, and then I'm going to read 28 and 29. And Yahudah said, behold, the fire of Shem burned in my heart. You see, they had a connection. They knew this power. They was in contact with this might and this power. He said, the fire of Shem burned in my heart. Now I will burn all your land with fire. And Yahushua answered and said, surely your sister-in-law Tamar, who killed your son, extinguished the fire of Shechem. And this is Yahushua knowing that story, and he's relating what happened with his sons. 28 and 29. And Yahudah heard this thing. He had exceedingly wroth with anger, burning within him. And there was before him in that place a stone, the weight of which was about 400 shekels. And Yahudah's anger was kindled, and he took the stone in his hand and cast it up into the heavens and caught his with his left hand. Notice, he took the stone with his right hand, cast it up into the air to his left hand, right to left. east to west. This is how they operated. And he placed it afterward under his leg, and he sat upon it with all his strength, and the stone was turned into dust from the force of Yahuah. You talking about power and might? We're seeing it right here in scripture. We're seeing it on down to verse 46. And while they were fleeing, Yahuah and his brother pursued them unto the house of Pharaoh, and they all escaped. The ones that was with Yahuah, they was afraid, and they escaped. And Yahuah again sat before Yahuah and roared at him like a lion. You know, scripture say, who will arouse Yahuah? He roared like a lion and gave a great tremendous shriek at him. And the shriek was heard at a distance, and all the inhabitants of Sukkot heard it. And all Egypt quaked at the sound of the shriek. And also the walls of Egypt and of the land of Goshen fell in from the shaking of the earth. What tremendous might came from the shriek. And Pharaoh also fell from his throne unto the ground. Watch this. And also all the pregnant women of Egypt and Goshen miscarried. He caused the pregnant women to miscarry just because of what came out of his mouth. When we see this, we get an understanding of some of the power and the might Yasharal has. And again, I'm gonna go deeper into this later on to find out where did this come from. When they heard the noise of the shaking, for they were terribly afraid. Of course, they was afraid. They saw and they heard the earthquake. Now, I'm going into Maccabees. Another history lesson here. And this is what our people, they knew this. They understood battle. They understood what happens in battle. They understood what happens before the battle. And they knew who was with them, who was Yasharal, who was one with them, and who was the enemy, and those rebels that turned against them. And that's what we're going to see here. First Maccabees 2:24. Then Malachi saw it. He burned with zeal in his heart. Here's that burning fire. With zeal in his heart was stirred. He gave a vent to the righteous anger, and he ran and killed him upon the altar. Now let me tell you what's going on here. You had these wicked kings coming in with their rules and laws, and they started making sacrifices to another mighty one. And here we see Yasharal, one of Yasharal. You know, some of us will go with the enemy just to save our life. And he was doing this. And anger stirred up in his heart. You see, when he do this, you against the Most High. When you do this, you against Yasharal. And he ran to him upon the altar and killed him. This is what happened to the rebels. This is what our people done to the rebels. Okay, this is First Maccabees again, and this is 1:50. And whoever does not obey the command of the king shall die. Here's the king telling the people. They changed the laws. They're making them eat unclean animals. They have them. You see, verse 49, they forgot the Torah and they changed the ordinance. They forgot to make the people forget the law and change all the ordinance. And they made clean things profane. They made those things that was clean, they made them profane. And his command was, if you don't obey him, you die. So they had a choice, obey the Most High or obey this wicked king. First Maccabees 3:2. All his brothers and all who had joined his father helped him, and they gladly fought for Yasharal. They had to come together and say, what are we going to do about this situation? And a few of them, you always have a few that say, we're not going out like that. They gladly fought for Yasharal and for the causes of the Most High. First Maccabees 3:18, Yahudah replied, it is easy. Watch this. It is easy. We don't understand this, but we need to understand this. It is easy for many to be destroyed by a few. For in the sight of Shamaim, there is no difference between saving by many or by few. This is saying, if you have just a small amount of Yasharal on the same page, you have 1,000 on the same page, you have 5 million enemies It's easy for the Most High to deliver that 5 million into the hand of the 1,000. It's easy. Because why? Because Yahuah is going before this 1,000. First Maccabees 4:58 and 59. There was a great gladness among the people, and the reproach of Gui was removed. So when they done what they supposed to did, they fought for their lives. They fought for what was right. They removed the reproach from Gui. Then Yahudah and his brother and all the assembly of Yasharal determined that from every year at that season, the days of dedication of the altar should be observed with gladness and happiness for 8 days. And we sing, righteousness being set back up again, them doing righteousness. First Maccabees 5:32. And he said to the men of his forces, fight today for your brethren. They knew this. And they were told to fight this day for your brethren. Make sure you understand what we're fighting for. Fight for your brethren. We don't fight for the rebels. We fight for the people fought for their brethren. First Maccabees 7:10. So they marched away and came with a large force into the land of Yahudah. And he sent messengers to Yahudah and his brothers with shalom, but treacherous words. So he came in speaking like he was for the people, but he wasn't. It was a trap. This is how the enemy operates. And once you study scripture, you study your enemy, you know how the enemy operates. And you know when he's for your good and when he is for your bad. First Maccabees 7:34. He mocked them and derided them and defiled them and spoke arrogantly. Now, this is what our people are doing today. Our people are speaking arrogantly against each other. Notice, they will not fit into scripture. They would fit in with the enemy. They do not fit in with the righteous. Okay, First Maccabees 9:44. And Jonathan said to those with him, let us rise up now and fight for our lives. You see, they knew. He's saying, let us rise up now and fight for our lives. For today, things are not as they were before. Things were changed. They had to fight for their lives. First Maccabees 10:21. So Jonathan put on the Kadash garments. Now, I'm going to go into this battle that's coming. I've yet gone into it, and I'm only going into scripture right now, what happened and how our people fought in scripture. But we see, and remember this, he said, put on your Kadash garments. There's a fighting garment that has to be put on. In the 7th month, on the 116th year, at the Feast of Tabernacles, and he recruited troops and equipped them with arms in abundance. They was equipped with arms in abundance. They had weapons. They was ready for battle. This is First Maccabees, 11:21. But certain lawless men who hated their nation, there was unrighteous men, wicked men, rebels. They hated Yasharal, their own nation. And they went to the king, the enemy, and reported to him that Jonathan was besieging the citadel. So we've always had rebels amongst us. They was turning and going along with the enemy. First Maccabees 13:4 and 5. By reason of this, all my brothers have perished for the sake of Yasharal, and I alone am left. He's saying all his brothers, they perished because of fighting for Yasharal, and he's left now by himself. He says, now far be it from me to spare my life in any time of distress, for I am not better than my brothers. And he's saying they died, they fought for Yasharal and died. I will do the same also. First Maccabees 16:2. And Simeon called unto his oldest son, Yahudah and John, and said unto them, I and my brothers and the house of my fathers have fought for the wars of Yasharal from our youth until this day. They fought from their youth